Hey everybody, good morning, good day, good evening, whenever you're watching this, if you're watching this, I hope that you're able to sprinkle a little bit of good and positivity throughout your day. Welcome to Tao of Tay. I'm Tay and this is my channel where I share meditations and self-reflection and stories from my life and to gain a little bit of clarity and balance into my life, and maybe there's something that resonates with you and something that you can ponder throughout the rest of the day and self-reflect on, like a little takeaway. So last time we shook things up, we used the Oracle cards from the Threads of Fate Shadow Edition. So I wanted to go ahead and do that again for today. So just a single card reading. Just shuffling the cards, putting my energy into them. Also just kind of asking, like, my angels and my spirit guides, please surround me. Show me a message that I need to see. And that feels good to stop there. And let's just pull that top card. The Wilding. So this is a beautiful card with some swords on it, some greenery. The Wilding. So going into our little booklet. The Wilding, 118. Sorry, I'm a little like nasally right now. 118. Oh, okay, so this is the last card in the booklet. So the Wilding. Pulling the Wilding card indicates a time to connect to the most primal parts of yourself. This may mean you need to detach a bit from people around you so you can hear the whispers of your deepest knowing without the influence of others. The Wilding is raw, empowered, and independent. Many people are intimidated by them because they need little from others and prioritize radical freedom, which can be unsettling as most of society operates within unspoken expectations and contracts. The Wilding burns the contract and heads into the woods. Wilding comes to us as an ally when we need to break free of the systems that limit us. The Wilding within us remembers a time where we lived with the land, when we walked barefoot, when our lives were in alignment with the natural world. Wilding is a call for remembrance. A good way to invoke Wilding is to dive deeper into our body and hear what needs from us on our most primal level. A balanced Wilding prioritizes freedom but remains grounded. They possess an instinct that may not make sense to others, but never leads them astray. They are present to their own emotions and needs and will spend time on their personal development. An unbalanced Wilding is in a state of perpetual chaos. They are avoidant and often use the external for a band-aid of their internal dis-ease, which often means they are constantly moving on to the next thing. They move on to never end up being what they hoped for. All right. I don't know about you, but I've always had this desire for, like, I mean, I'm not saying that I would be any good at it, and I love my technology, I love my phone, I love the roof over my head, I love the comforts of my life, but there is this, like, little piece of me inside that, like, wishes that I could kind of be that more nomadic type of wild woman that, like, lives on the land, lives in a little cottage in the woods and forages for, like, berries and mushrooms and catches wild fish to eat. Like, I don't know. Talks to the birds and the squirrels and the deer and the animals, and so pretty much like a Disney movie, like a Disney princess, like a Snow White or something like that. And I've always felt that need to kind of like break away from our expectations of society, and I've never felt like I've fit into what society expects from me. I mean, I didn't really go to college, so I don't have that type of college, like that college structure that like puts you into the corporate world and you make all this money and you buy these lavish homes and these lavish cars, and I've never really, of course that would be nice. I'm sure that in another lifetime I'm living that life and I'm having a grand old time. you know, being my best Kylie Jenner kind of self. But what I truly desire is to just build my own little cottage and cabin and drink water from a natural spring off of a mountain or something, and just not be alone, because people aren't supposed to be completely alone in solitude. For so long, that's what I thought that I wanted. Like, oh, I can't stand society. I can't understand people, and they don't understand me, so I'm just gonna like lock myself away in my room. But we're humans. Deep down, we are tribal people, and we need our tribe. And I like what they said, that you can detach a bit from people around you, so you can hear the whispers of your deepest knowing without the influence of others. Because I used to be that person that constantly ran to other people. What should I do? Here are my problems. Try to fix them for me. And sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's nice to hear the advice from others. But truly, deep down inside, you know exactly what you need. Other people might think that they know what is best for you. But sometimes other people just project their own shit. You know, they project their own shit onto you and give you the advice that they think that they would want. But again, if you can just, you know, take people's advice with a grain of salt, but really be with yourself, sit in some silence, see what comes up for you, see what is your gut instinct telling you, and try to follow that. Because we all have intuition. Some a little, you know, some are tuned in, it's like a radio, some are tuned into that frequency a little bit, you know, better than others. But we all have that intuition, and we all know what truly is best for us, as long as we're not deep into that chaos. Because when we're in the chaos, it's really hard to find that like balanced, neutral ground to clear our thoughts, for those clarity thoughts to come up. And I've definitely been that unbalanced wilding, the one that's in the state of perpetual chaos. They're avoidant and often use external for a band-aid for their internal dis-ease. And that's what I was doing. Here I go with my Sprite again, but that's what I was doing with alcohol and drugs. I would constantly try to numb myself and run away from myself, so I wouldn't have to sit with myself and be myself and have to deal with my own shit. But, you know, dis-ease leads to disease, and nobody wants that. We all want to be healthy. I was constantly moving on to the next thing. I'm not a finisher. I always like to think that, like, I come up with these great ideas, and I'll start things, and then I never finish them. I'm just constantly moving on to the next thing, not actually having to like deal with the things that I've created, whether it's beauty or whether it's chaos. And I don't know if you've seen this movie, Chocolat. Johnny Depp's in it, but it is a great film, a little period piece. And the main woman in the film, I forget what she says, but it's something along the lines of like, when the northeast winds start to blow around this certain time of year, she feels the need to like move somewhere else. And I think that comes back to like that nomadic period of ourselves. You know, we never really stayed in one place, because either we would like use up all our resources, or, you know, say it was spring and summer and then the winter comes and we can't survive in that, so then we'd have to travel to the next warm spot to survive. And I've kind of always felt that, like, whenever it gets fall and there's this certain like crispness in the air, I have this like longing to like pack up all of my belongings, just move on to the next spot. And maybe that's that like wilding, nomadic kind of person within me, or maybe that's me just trying to run away from my problems. I don't know. But yeah, I've always had that desire to just be more connected to nature, live in the woods, hear like I don't want to hear the highways and the cars going by and the hustle and bustle of like a city landscape. I've done that before. I have. I've lived in Chicago. But I'm definitely a person where I need to be immersed in nature. Hear the songbirds. Hear just like the wind creaking between the trees. And the grasshoppers or the crickets at night, whichever one makes those noises. Yeah, that's my big goal in life. I don't have my actual plan of how I'm gonna get there. But I need to sit down. I need to try to come up with a plan. It's a little hard when you're unemployed in a pandemic, and I have no wilderness skills whatsoever. But that is that deep desire within me to just live a little bit more of that wild, free life. So we'll see. We'll see when that comes. But what about for you? Did that card and did that message, that little meditation, did that speak to you in any way? Is there something that calls to you that you feel that deep desire for? And just remember, when it gets really chaotic around you, which, sometimes we can't control that. We've learned that from all of January. Sometimes there's things that we can't control, especially the external world and the people around us. But what we can control is how we feel inside. Or I should say we have the choice to choose how we can feel inside. So, sit with that for a moment or two and see what comes up for you. What does the wild thing in you truly desire? And hopefully you can start to manifest that in your life, because that's all we want, is to just create the best lives for ourselves. And I think I say this every time, but it's like, if we can choose happiness and if we can live our true authentic selves and our true authentic lives, that then gives others permission to start to live their true authentic lives. And then if we're all in this world living our true authentic lives, without harming anyone, of course, this world will feel a little lighter, we'll be a little happier, and maybe it won't be so chaotic. So sit with that. You can always let me know what you're feeling in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next. Oh wait, hold on. Thank you so much for thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me today. I am truly appreciative and grateful. Whoever's watching, this is just something that I'm putting out there, and if somebody picks it up, wants to sit with it, that's awesome. So yeah, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.